Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Alice's Study Guide. I am Alice. I'm currently talking to you from Miami, Florida. And today we're going to talk about how to find your dream school, or aka how to do college research. So about doing college research, I don't think I need to stress very much about how important it is, because I think you should all know that it is indeed very, very important. You can call it the most important step in your college application process, because if you do not find the right college for you, if you go to a college that does not fit you at all, then you will not be happy there and you won't achieve as much as you might expect there. So finding the right college for you and finding the dream school and doing college research is very, very important, and I suggest that you treat it very seriously. However, important as it might be, many might not know where to begin doing college research or how to do college research. So here I am to help you guys with it. So today we're going to break down the entire process of doing college research into 5 steps, in which the first 3 steps are necessary and the last 2 steps are supplementary. Now, attention please. Step number 1, match your standardized test scores and your high school GPA with the offered score range. But where to find the offered score range of specific schools? Now, I recommend a website called Niche. So the picture I'm displaying on the screen right now shows how the Niche homepage is going to look like. And as you can see from the picture, the Niche I was referring to is spelled N-I-C-H-E. You can just type it in Google and it will come up. And once you clicked into it, you will come to a page called 2020 Best Colleges in America. It also provides you with a ranking, but however, the ranking is more focused on students' experiences, like how they like the campus life, the party scenes, instead of the academics. So you can use this as another reference besides the US News and Times Higher Education rankings. I highly recommend using the Niche website for doing college research. It provides many useful information. For example, if you click into a school, I'm clicking into Stanford University, you can see a picture of it on the home screen and a big Stanford University in the left side. And you can also see a report card provided by Niche that includes a overall Niche grade and academics, diversity, athletics, professors, etc., etc. And there are grades. For example, an A plus means the best, and a B minus or also a C. So you can get the sense like how it is rated and what it is strong at and what it is weak at. And in the ranking page underneath each school name, you can see at the last of the little introduction, you can see an SAT range. After acquiring information regarding the SAT score range and the high school GPA, you can manually match your own high school GPA and your scores with the range provided by Niche. Like if you fall into the range provided by it, then that means you're safe, you're in the middle 50%, that means you have a chance to get in. But if you do not fall into the category, don't worry, we'll talk about it later. Or if you don't want to spend the time to match your scores with every school on the list, you can just use an easier way, which is a tool provided by Niche called Will You Get In? ? So after you click into it, it will require you to unlock, but don't worry, the unlock is absolutely free, and this is not a paid advertisement. I'm just speaking from my personal experience. After acquiring the information you entered, the Niche website will just automatically match you up with all the schools and pair you up with the schools that it thinks you will get in, which means that you fall into their score range. The schools that Niche paired you up with will be a good reference list for you to consider while choosing your best school. But then what comes next if I don't fall into their score range but I want to go to the college? To answer that question, we'll first have to talk about how to interpret this score range. Now, the score ranges provided by the Niche website is unanimous with all of the college guides, which means that they are correct information. And in fact, they are given by the admissions offices for you to consider while choosing schools. The score ranges provided by the admissions offices are the so-called average score ranges, which means that 50% of the students that they admitted that year fall within that score range. But that also means that 25% of the students that they admitted that year did not reach the lower benchmark. So if you did not reach the score range but you want to go to that school, don't worry, you still stand a chance. And if you are higher than the average score range, don't think that you stand a much higher chance than all the other competitors, because as admissions offices said, they use a holistic review while reviewing each applicant's application. Then that means that the standardized test scores are only but a part of the application process. It does not mean that you definitely will get in if you are higher than the average score range. Now, some might choose to use college guides to match their standardized test scores and high school GPA with that provided by the schools. However, I do not recommend using college guides in this phase, because then you will need to match your scores with every school on the list, and that might mean a lot of workload. Like you have to match up with over 400 colleges. After you finish step number 1, you can move on to learn more about the schools that the websites paired you with from college guides. Step number 2, go through college guides. So College Guide serves as a jumpstart for you to conduct your further research. It provides you with the basic information about the schools, and it also helps you gain a perspective and establish a criteria for judging the schools. And it also prevents you from being overwhelmed by all those information. For example, when you face the large amount of information provided to you by the official websites, you might absorb the information but not know where to find the emphasis. The College Guide that I most recommend is the one written by Princeton Review. The information provided by the Princeton Review is very concise, and it covers all the basic information that you need to know in your first step of research. And all the information is divided into specific scopes that avoids you from being overwhelmed by information. So these scopes ranges from 1. Academics, 2. Student body, 3. Campus life, and 4. Admissions. And within the admissions aspect, there are 2 subtitles. 1. Admissions factors, which is the important factors considered in the overall admissions process, and 2. What the admissions officers say about the admissions process. As I have mentioned before, you can easily get lost in the vast amount of information provided to you outside of college guides. There are just so many aspects of information that the school wants you to know, or the students want you to know, that you don't know where to grasp. You don't know where to find the things that might attract your attention to the school. However, using college guides to jumpstart your research has a benefit in that you can easily grasp the biggest characteristic of the school. Let's look at one example. Take NYU. NYU New York University. From reading the college guides, you can easily grasp that the biggest characteristic of NYU, the biggest charm it presents to its students, is its location in central New York City. Being in the central New York City presents students with a vast amount of opportunities. For example, internships, easy access to internships being in a large city, and to research opportunities and overseas research project. Being in a New York City is NYU's biggest characteristic. And if you like being in a big city and get easy access to the opportunities, then NYU is your choice, and you can choose to get to know NYU better by going online to explore its official website. Step number 3, go to the official websites. But this step is the hardest step of the entire process of doing college research, because there are so much information the school wants you to know, so they all put it on the official website, but you can easily get overwhelmed. For example, there are information including the student-faculty ratio or undergraduate research opportunities and course catalogs. You just lose yourself in the sea of information and cannot find your direction. You don't know where you're going at and what you're looking at, what might attract you the most, what might be the biggest characteristic of the school. And if you don't have an aim for looking for information, then the research is pointless. After looking through dozens of official websites ranging from schools and a variety of rankings, I came to my own conclusion. To facilitate your experience in exploring the official websites, I suggest that you focus on 2 aspects and 2 aspects only. 1. The academics, and 2. The student activities. For information such as the student-faculty ratio or other overseas research, you can choose to ignore in your first step of research on the official website. The academic aspect is actually the aspect that you can grasp easily, because you also have an academic environment provided to you now by your high school. So to testify whether you're going to like the environment provided to you by colleges or not, you can actually compare the academic environment provided to you by your high school with the academic environment guaranteed to you by the descriptions on the official websites. So while comparing these 2 environments, you can ask yourself questions such as this. Do I like to be in a large class or a small class? If I like to be in a small class, say I like to have one-on-one conversations with teachers, and I like to hear responses from teachers and comments from teachers, then a large research university such as UC Berkeley, which have classes that exceeds 200 people, might not be the best choice for you, and you can cross it off your reference list. But say if you like a lecture much better than a seminar, you like sitting in the back row and scribble notes all the time instead of engaging in a scholastic conversation with your peers, then you might consider colleges such as UCB and stop considering small liberal arts colleges such as Amherst College. In these small liberal arts colleges, classes rarely exceeds 20 person. Other questions that you can consider while doing college research on the official websites might include, for example, do you like being under pressure all the time? If you enjoy a pressure cooker environment and think that pressure gives you the strength to move on, you can consider colleges such as Cornell or University of Chicago, which is well known for its high competitivity. But if you don't like to be under high pressure all the time, then you can consider schools that are less pressurized and have less competition. As I have mentioned earlier, the second aspect you need to consider while doing research on official websites is student activities, and this is actually the fun part because you get to explore the activities that you might really enjoy. For example, I remember very distinctly that Georgetown University has a grilling club. It is so interesting. For example, it will set up a barbecue, a grill, each, say, Friday afternoon, and it will grill hamburgers and pass it out to students passing by, and they established it as a club, actually. So you can feel the vibe of the school in these student activities, and if the vibes attract you, then the school might attract you also. You can also set out for specific activities that attracts you. For example, I'm a dancer, I enjoy dancing, and I am in the school dance group, so I might look for dance activities provided by the schools. And specifically, although ballet and tap dance are very widespread in the universities, some universities might also offer Chinese folk dance, and in this case, the activity would definitely attract my eye. And other examples include NYU, which provides students that are not in the Performance Arts Center an opportunity to study dancing extensively. After exploring the two aspects, the academics and the student activities, if you find that the school really attracts you, then you can set out to explore further details. While exploring the official websites, you can feel free to refer back to college guides. And in this phase, I would recommend another college guide called the Fisk Guide to Colleges. It is very helpful in this phase, the phase that you already know the schools that you are targeting, and you'd like to know more about the school, because a Fisk Guide provides many student comments on the school, and you can get a deeper sense of what the school vibe is like, how the student community forms, and what is the sense of community in this school. After exploring the official websites and gathering the information provided to you by college guides, actually you can draw a comma after the process of doing college research, because the information is indeed enough. But if you want to know more about the school, about your dream school, then there are two more steps that you can do. Step number 4, search for these schools on YouTube. There are many student vloggers on YouTube that vlog their day in life as a student, for example, in Yale University, in Stanford University, in NYU, and you can get to know their life as a student in these schools, and most of all, you can get to know many little details about the school. You can see what the school is like from the viewpoint of a student, and you can grasp the overall environment of the school from the way the students greet each other when they meet each other on the street, from how they talk to each other in class, from how they go to class. These many little details build up your overall impression of a school and can really help you love a school. And one last step, step number 5, go to visit these schools. And I might emphasize that you must put this in the last step of all, because going into a school before you know it is actually of absolutely no use at all. So when you've come to a phase that there are only 4 or 5, say, schools left on your college list, then you can choose to visit these schools. Going to visit these schools help you actually immerse into the environment of these colleges. You can imagine yourself as a future student in the college and imagine what your life is going to be like. And if you can directly see a future of yourself in this school, then that is your dream school. If you feel perplexed as I did after I finished all my standardized test scores, then you might as well proceed on to doing college research and find your best fit, find your dream school, instead of letting your student counselor assign one for you according to your scores. Because actually I think feeling the vibe of the school and feeling that you really can see a future of yourself in the school is so important. It will help you love your school after you get in. In the next video, I will be again talking about the SATs and my SAT experiences, but in the video after next video, I will probably be talking about my experience in my campus visits. So thank you guys for taking the time to watch my videos. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you're interested in hearing any more of my tips in the future, then please subscribe.